Is it over for Beyonce's Ivy Park brand collaboration with Adidas? Well, according to this new report, the clothing brand that's fronted by Beyonce and is 50% owner apparently is not doing well and is losing a lot of money. Let's unpack that, including did Beyonce bring a huge ratings boost for the Grammys? Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So, first of all, Beehive, calm down. I already hear the buzzing. We got to talk about Beyonce when there is Beyonce news, good, bad, or indifferent. First of all, we celebrated Beyonce this past week. She is now the most awarded Grammy award-winning performer with 32 Grammys ever. She's the only person, she has the most Grammys. She also broke the record for winning, the first Black woman to win Best Dance and Electronic Album, which caused a stir because some of you were debating on social media. Dawn Richard from Danity Kane, y'all brought up a very valid point. She's been making this music for years now and has not won that Grammy. That doesn't take away from Dawn being amazing. The Grammys are slowly but surely becoming not as relevant when it comes to artists anymore. Drake, The Weeknd, all of them have been saying this. Well, although it's losing its power and its influence, it didn't stop the ratings from being pretty high this weekend. Shout out to our friends over at Hot New Hip Hop in regards to the ratings. They report this. They said the 2022 Grammys had a 9.6 million in total viewers after live and same day tallies came in later that week. The impressive ratings made it the most viewed show of the ceremony's evening across television networks. 12.4 million is also the largest audience for the Grammys Awards since 2020. Online and social media, the broadcast hit 66 billion potential impressions. Thus, it is the number one social entertainment event of 2023. It's only February. According to CBS, by Monday morning, the world had consumed 53 million video clips of the Grammy Awards ceremony content across CBS and Paramount's social media platforms. The CBS broadcast took place at the Los Angeles Crypto.com Arena, the Staples Center? Okay. And streamed on Paramount Plus. Oh, I didn't realize I could have watched it there. Never mind. The live streaming ratings were also up 33% from last year. The show broke its own record for the largest live streaming audience in history across CBS and the Paramount Plus platforms. And some of you might be saying, why in the difference? Honestly, yes, we had Lizzo there, we had Adele, we had Sam Smith. And honestly, I think the fact that Beyonce was going to be there and potentially might perform, because they never said that she wasn't performing. There were rumors, maybe she's performing. There was no confirmation, but we were hoping that she would at least be there. And she was. And I also believe because of social media's engagement and talking about the show and then talking about that all celebration of hip hop, that brought a lot of people to watch the Grammys after a lot of people have been tuned out. As you also know, they've been trying to make changes over at the Grammys in the last couple of years. But I honestly believe that is the power and the influence of Beyonce. But Beyonce doesn't win everything.
Move your dirty blood clot, your bad-minded witch of your wicked demonic serpent, you.
Including Album of the Year. She's never won Album of the Year, and so many of you are still blasting Harry Styles for winning an award that was awarded to him by his peers in the industry. We have to remember, this is not voted on by the general public. Do I think she should have won? Yes, I do. I think Renaissance was an incredible album. I also think Lemonade was an incredible album. She really is getting into her artistry as she gets older. But one of the things that stood out to me a few months ago, I had seen this video on TikTok, just swiping through, them talking about the Ivy Park brand. Although Ivy Park has these big promotions and then just big rollouts, in your mind, you would think that Ivy Park is doing well in the fashion industry. As you know, Beyonce has tried for a long time to crack into the fashion industry. She first started with the House of Darion and then launched Ivy Park. And a lot of people, and I know the Beehive is all right, keep buzzing, will be like, it's doing well. Well, not according to the Wall Street Journal. Let's get into this. And for the first time, you can call us KNN because we're going to get into the details of why possibly her partnership with Adidas might come to an end after their contract ends this year. So the Wall Street Journal writes this. Beyonce fans are clamoring for tickets for her world tour, but the music star is having a harder time finding buyers for her line of inclusive streetwear. They write, Beyonce's fashion partnership with Adidas AG has produced weak sales of her Ivy Park clothing brand, according to the documents and people familiar with the matter, leaving roughly $200 million hole in the company's annual projections. Sales of Ivy Park tumbled by more than 50% to about $40 million in 2022, coming in below internal Adidas projections for $250 million in sales that year. Documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal show. The documents show that Ivy Park has been losing money for Adidas, and Beyonce gets about $20 million in annual compensation, no matter how they do, I believe. I'm just adding that part. I don't know what her contract looks like. The contract between the pop star, whose full name is Beyonce Knowles Carter, and the German sneaker giant is set to end after 2023. And Adidas executives have discussed either ending or revamping the arrangement, according to sources. They said Adidas said that the Ivy Park partnership is strong and successful and declined to discuss financial performance. We continue to be inspired by our collective vision and are proud of the work we have created together, the company said. Beyonce spokesperson didn't respond to requests for comment. Here's the thing. They know that Beyonce, the name and the face, still brings people to the yard. They do. Look at the Grammys. That's a perfect example. However, as I said to you before, as I was swiping through TikTok, I saw this video talking about the Ivy Park brand and why this particular person who breaks down businesses and why they're performing and why they're not performing basically says that this joint partnership with Adidas might be getting lost in the shuffle because of all the other things that happens on when it comes to the Adidas brand.
Happened to Beyonce's brand. It started strong. Ivy after her daughter and Park for the park in Houston where she trained. So why are interest levels falling and their Instagram losing followers? Because Ivy Park doesn't have a home. Beyonce's media company owned 50% and their focus is entertainment, not athleisure. The other 50% was Topshop before scandal forced them to find a new partner. They went to Adidas where they're lost in the shuffle. It's hard to feel immersed in Ivy Park's world if you're one click away from another brand's hiking shoes. On Instagram, they have country profiles which brands usually set up to create tighter community bonds, but here there's no localized content. Ivy Park had the creative vision, but it lacks execution.
Also, Parkwood, Beyonce's management company and music label, their focus really is on management and music, and Beyonce, that part. So it seems to be not only is the brand losing money in sales, also it's losing its impact on social media. They cover that also in this video as well. I'll be posting that video somewhere so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm not surprised that we're hearing today, and I saw this video back in November, I believe. So come fast forward to this year. Will they figure out how to continue this partnership? Because Adidas, they probably will. We also have to keep in mind, I wonder if the whole Kanye situation, if this would have been different, because Kanye's Yeezys and the brand Yeezy for Adidas, for them to drop him, first of all, took away his billionaire status, but it also was a huge hole for Adidas and a major decision for them to drop him because they knew that they would be losing a lot of money in comparison to this situation with Ivy Park. So I wonder if losing such a big name and such a big brand makes them a little bit more hesitant to lose another big name and a big brand, no matter how much money it might be losing. I wouldn't be surprised if they have another contract. The contract will probably look very different in comparison to what they initially set up. And they reimagine what this brand will look like. I'm wondering, because as I said to you before in the TikTok video, they tried to make sense of why the brand might not be doing as well with Adidas. And it might be because Adidas is a part of so many other things like Yeezy, like their own stuff. And maybe that's why Ivy Park is getting lost in the shuffle. You also will see in this video that Beyonce had that collaboration with Topshop at one point, but then they had a scandal and she moved away from them. So the Wall Street Journal continues, and they say that the struggles of a brand backed by one of the world's most successful music artists who just set the record for the most Grammy awards and has nearly 300 million Instagram followers, talk about influence, shows the challenges with the Adidas strategy to sell more streetwear and fashion sneakers by collaborating with celebrities such as Beyonce, Pharrell Williams, and Kanye West. Adidas, a global sportswear seller with a roughly $30 billion market capitalization, lowered its earnings outlook in November after it cut ties with Mr. West following his anti-Semitic comments by the rapper and workplace complaints involving him. Adidas have worked with Mr. West, who goes by Ye, for years to build the Yeezy brand into one of its biggest sellers. Beyonce debuted the Ivy Park clothing line back in 2016, so they've been collaborating for 7 years in a partnership with Philip Green, the UK retail tycoon who used to own Topshop. It initially featured running shorts, tank tops, and hoodies for $35 to $60, along with the higher priced jackets and backpacks. Beyonce bought full ownership of the brand in 2018. I believe that was after the Topshop scandal. So Adidas said in 2019, announced its collaboration with Beyonce, who at the time called it the partnership of a lifetime. The company sought to diversify its portfolio with women and hoped to replicate the success it had with Kanye West, who had crossed over from making music to selling sneakers. So Adidas executives expected hundreds of millions of dollars in Ivy Park sales and promised Beyonce guaranteed annual fees and creative control. So goes back to what I said earlier. I'm not sure in her contract if the $20 million were guaranteed. Here it says it is based on her contract. So she has guaranteed annual fees and creative control, the people familiar with the matter said. But it soon became clear that Ivy Park collections weren't gaining the traction that Yeezy products did. Ivy Park features inclusive sizing and gender-neutral styles, along with neon-colored sweatshirts and sneakers. It also has dresses and accessories. Many of the Ivy Park products have failed to sell, the documents show. In 5 of the last 6 Ivy Park releases, roughly half of the merchandise that was produced went unsold.
Don't be rude.
So, according to the Wall Street Journal, they said the next Ivy Park release, which Beyonce unveiled in Dubai last month, is expected to go on sale this week, days after the Grammy Awards. The new items include a basketball shoe, a camo sequin jacket, and children's clothes ranging in price from $30 to $600. So instead of going to the Beyonce show, you should support Ivy Park, y'all. So you can wear it to the Beyonce show, maybe. So Wall Street Journal says, despite Beyonce having appeared in the marketing campaigns for Ivy Park, she doesn't appear as often as Mr. West did in Adidas streetwear and paparazzi pictures. I like where this article is covering. So we have, because a lot of fans will be like, oh, well, she always has these big campaigns. It's Ivy Park, it's Beyonce. She has the influence. But here's the difference that they're pointing out. Because you always see Kanye and anyone that's connected to Kanye, be it Kim Kardashian, the children, they're always wearing Yeezy all the time. Adidas and her team have also disagreed over how to label and market the products, with Adidas pushing for more of its own branding, the people familiar with the matter said. Ivy Park sales were on track to hit about 40 million at the end of last year, down from the 93 million in 2021, according to the documents. For 2023, the documents show Ivy Park sales are projected to reach 65 million, compared with an earlier Adidas target of reaching 335 million. Adidas was on track to lose at least 10 million in the partnership in 2022, according to the documents. Meanwhile, Beyonce was slated to receive about 20 million in compensation, the same as previous years, the documents show. Look, you can't win at everything, guys. Look. Beyonce is winning at everything, incredibly talented, but this is not an easy task. We also have to remember, although Rihanna is succeeding in so many different areas, especially in the makeup and the lingerie world with her Savage Fenty. You saw that she tried to launch her own fashion house, which was really exciting, but it was also put on pause during the pandemic because, first of all, pandemic and also sales. Let's be honest. So the fashion world, Kanye used to say this before, it's not an easy world to get into, first of all, as a celebrity, as a musician, but also to translate that into sales. And I've been hearing this for at least the last few months that Ivy Park was not delivering in that department. It will be interesting. I don't believe that Adidas will walk completely away from Beyonce if she does not want to walk away herself. Because no matter what you say, Beyonce still brings the boys to the yard and the girls. She brings them all to the yard, and she has that influence. She still has the marketing influence. I think they will have to figure out how to do things differently. I do find it interesting they pointed out that you don't see her necessarily sporting those things in paparazzi photos, but you also don't see her in paparazzi photos that often. Do you guys think that it's over for Ivy Park? What do you think is where they've gone wrong in regards to this? Let's have that conversation, especially those of you that have worked in the fashion industry or work in marketing. Let's have those conversations in the comment section. You never know who's watching. Guys, as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.